Within the following presentation, Alice will discuss how teaching and learning within Australian primary schools has shifted from single disciplines to a more traditional teaching approach using subdisciplines within specific subject areas. She will also discuss why we should integrate and how this has evolved within Australian primary schools. And finally, she will discuss approaches to integration and the interdisciplinary model of integration. Moving on, Tamara will discuss Vygotsky's interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach to integration. She will then explain the four models of which the curriculum is viewed through: sequenced, shared, webbed, and threaded. Moving on, Tamara will discuss the inquiry approach to learning with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development and scaffolding. Integrated studies is a type of planning and teaching that includes a variety of subject areas and disciplines. As Gordon 2014 has described integration as an approach to teaching and learning that connects knowledge, understanding, and skills from within or across subject areas in meaningful ways. Vygotsky 1991 defined 10 models of integration enclosed within three extensive categories: interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary, which will be discussed later on. As Marsh 2004 has stated, since the late 1960s, education saw a move away from the teaching of history, geography, and civics as separate subjects in primary schools to the teaching of an integrated subject called social studies. Gordon 2014. In current decades, integration of the curriculum in Australian primary schools has intended a single thing: organising learning into themes. As Gordon 2014 has said, these thematic units were often a mixture of activities organised through a topic. While this was viewed as a way to make teaching and learning interrelated, themes were repeatedly unsuccessful in developing important concepts, understanding, and processes essential to learning. Soon after, much more careful approaches to curriculum integration within primary schools were created and supported by education authorities and educators. Within a popular book, Hamston and Murdoch 1996 provided educators with suggestions on how to integrate effectively. Over the years, a variety of understandings and models of integrating the curriculum have been proposed, all of which have their own assumptions about teaching and learning.
In the past, teaching and learning in Australian primary schools occurred through the study within single disciplines. This more traditional approach taught subdisciplines within specific subject areas. For example, in the past, English encompassed writing, reading, literature, and oral communication. Although integration still occurred, it was only within one subject area. In the 1970s, Jean Piaget's cognitive development theories became influential to educating young children. Piaget formed his ideas on stages and the concept of readiness required in the development and biological maturation, meaning that children need to develop a certain level of maturity before they should be taught a particular concept. These theories may have led to the teaching of single subjects and disciplines. In the past, education was very teacher-centred, where content was divided into core subjects. History, science, and the arts were always implemented in isolation. For the last century, many educational theorists have criticised this fragmented and isolated approach to learning. During this progressive era, American philosopher John Dewey argued that segregating information within separate subject areas impeded students' ability to understand connections between their personal experiences and what they learn at school. Dewey encouraged schools to move away from discipline-based teaching to inquiry-based, student-centred pedagogical practices so that learning is more meaningful to students and collaboration should take place. Howard Gardner developed the theory of multiple intelligences and co-founded the Interdisciplinary Studies project, emphasising the importance of integrated studies. Many teachers today work to integrate Gardner's multiple intelligences theory into their classroom. Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy is another famous framework to have emerged during this era, who also encouraged integration and to foster connections across multiple subject areas. Bloom's framework is widely used today, describing 6 levels that develop lower to higher order thinking. Why should we integrate, and how has integration evolved in Australian primary schools? Kathleen Gordon explains curriculum integration as an approach to teaching and learning that links students' understandings, knowledge and skills across all subject areas in meaningful ways. For many years in Australia, teachers have embraced integrative approaches to their planning and teaching, as it allows flexibility and a more progressive way of teaching. Evidence has shown us that integrating subjects makes sense to students who may not grasp fragmented, compartmentalised knowledge, reduces pressure from rigid timetables, helps students and teachers to develop more effective ways of gathering and processing information, provides genuine real-world perspectives for learning. Since the 1990s, our national and state curriculums have evolved and changed many times. Our past curriculum integration meant that teachers organised their planning and learning into themes. Topics were selected at random and based on language themes such as colours, the sea, or pirates, etc. These thematic units failed at making learning more cohesive, as students were not learning important concepts and processes that were fundamental to the area of study. Our current Australian curriculum has brought us back to the study of disciplines in subjects of history, geography, civics, citizenship, economics and business. Today, teachers are encouraged to move to inquiry-based integrated units, where activities are designed to develop deeper understandings about subjects. Topics are selected with relevance to students' lives in our modern society. Topics are seen as a means of ongoing development of bigger ideas. Teachers need to ask, how will this activity help to develop and challenge students' understandings about a topic? Maths, science, language, the arts, and are selected according to how it can be purposefully used by students in their day-to-day lives. Activities are developed along an inquiry model of teaching and learning. Units move through a comprehensive sequence of stages and merge areas of the curriculum together in purposeful ways. Approaches to integration. Educational researcher Robin Fogarty's approach to integration offers us a straightforward continuum of curriculum integration from within subject areas to beyond subject areas. Within each three bands, Fogarty offers us further distinctions, for example, within single disciplines, across several disciplines, and within and across learners. Within the single disciplines band, intradisciplinary, she identifies three different ways integration may take place. In the fragmented model, the traditional method of organising the curriculum means taking topics from separate and distinct disciplines in major academic areas of maths, science, language and the arts, and may only occasionally be related intentionally. In the connected model, explicit connections are made within each subject area, connecting one topic, one skill, one concept to the next. Lastly, Fogarty identifies nested integration that takes advantage of natural combinations. For example, a lesson on the circulatory system could be explored to explain concepts of systems, as well as knowledge and facts of the circulatory. I will now discuss interdisciplinary as a model of integration. Interdisciplinary means within subjects, and although it is fragmented and was widely used in the past, it is still regarded as a necessary approach to teaching students in the lower primary school years, particularly in the use of explicit teaching to build important fundamental skills in literacy and numeracy to younger students. As Fogarty states, when knowledge and skills are connected within one subject, integration is still happening. For example, in the Australian curriculum, history is organised into two interrelated strands: historical knowledge and understanding, and historical skills. Tammy is now going to further discuss Fogarty's interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach to curriculum integration.
Different strategies in teaching and learning open understanding among students that can be better understood than others. An integrated learning approach allows for knowledge to be arranged without dismantling the curriculum, rather recognise it in a way that can be used to address broad issues and concepts within, across and beyond subject areas. One of the goals in having an integrated curriculum is to allow students to see the bigger picture and gain a better understanding of the world to which they belong. Thus, we as teachers must teach our students in a way that promotes understanding and lifelong learning, rather than just reciting facts when compared to methods used in previous generations. Fogarty's interdisciplinary approach to curriculum has been discussed previously by Alice, so let's take a look at Fogarty's interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach to curriculum integration. The interdisciplinary approach to integrating curriculum assists with children's thinking skills through the use of Bloom's taxonomy and de Bono's thinking hats, for example. This approach also assists students to build with their social skills, values, and attitudes between subjects in a multidisciplinary way and brings together multiple curriculum areas when using a theme or topic. Additionally, it is designed to build an intrinsic motivation and leverage in the connections that exist between the core curriculum areas of literacy and numeracy and embed them within other learning contexts. Interdisciplinary approaches will use sequenced, shared, webbed, threaded, and integrated models to present a unit of work with one main focus based on one or two subject areas such as geography, history, or science. The multidisciplinary approach will see students studying from topics such as science, technology, design, and social studies that go across disciplines and aim to develop major understandings about how the physical and social world functions, where English, mathematics, and interdisciplinary skills are linked in meaningful ways. We will look at these models in respect to various lenses of which to view a continuum of curriculum integration through interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approaches. First, the sequence model views the curriculum through eyeglasses, where the lenses are separate but connected by a common frame. Topics or units are taught separately and are rearranged in sequence to provide a broad framework for related concepts. Teachers can arrange topics so that similar units coincide. The shared model views the curriculum through binoculars, bringing two disciplines together into a single focused image. Using overlapping concepts and as organizing elements, this model involves shared planning of teaching in two disciplines. The webbed model views the curriculum through a telescope, capturing an entire constellation of disciplines at once. Once the cross-discipline team has chosen a theme, the members use it as an overlay to the different subjects. This is often achieved through the use of a generic but fertile theme such as patterns. This conceptual theme provides rich possibilities for the various disciplines. The threaded model views curriculum through a magnifying glass. The big ideas are enlarged throughout all content with a metacurricular approach. This model threads thinking skills, social skills, study skills, graphic organizers, technology, and a multiple intelligences approach to learning through all disciplines. Consensus-seeking strategies are used in resolving conflicts in many problem-solving situations. As thinking skills or social skills are threaded into the content, teachers ask students, how do you think about that? What thinking skills did you find most helpful, and how well did your group work today? Finally, the integrated model views the curriculum through a kaleidoscope where interdisciplinary topics are rearranged through overlapping concepts and emergent patterns and designs. Using a cross-disciplinary approach, this model blends the four major disciplines by finding the overlapping skills, concepts, and attitudes in all four disciplines. Integration is a result of sifting related ideas out of subject matter content, and the integration sprouts from within the various disciplines where teachers make matches among them as commonalities emerge. In a curriculum as overcrowded as ours is now, it is not hard to see how integration will be of benefit to schools across Australia. The curriculum needs to be integrated to ensure that we are covering all aspects required. But how do we do this? While an integrated approach seems to be the most logical approach to learning to ensure that students make connections with what they already know about a topic before moving through a number of stages of inquiry to reach the information that they do not yet know. This is paired with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development and scaffolding, whereby the teacher and perhaps other students work together to help scaffold or support the student. The inquiry approach also focuses on the student's agency and their ability to make choices in their learning. It empowers and challenges them to lead their own learning, supported by their peers and a well-prepared teacher. Student-directed teaching and learning enables teachers to move away from traditional conceptions of the academic curriculum, such as intradisciplinary approaches, and moves towards a focus on the integration of separate disciplines such as history, geography, and civics and citizenships, for example. A successful example of this correlation is STEM. STEM involves the use of foundational knowledge and skills from science, technology, engineering, and mathematic learning areas through a problem-based or inquiry approach to create solutions. Such a correlation between subjects is proven to deepen the knowledge of a subject area, encourage creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, and communication skills, It is also linked to the ever importance of developing student skills as future innovators, educators, researchers, and leaders through the development of complex problems that provide them with the necessary skills required to help them succeed in an ever-changing environment and world we live in. Kathy Murdoch has developed a sequence of activities that have been identified as an inquiry cycle used by many teachers to help shape their pedagogical practices through collaborative, project-based and problem-solving teaching and learning experiences. Tuning in allows students to connect with the topic. What do they already know? How do they know it? What experiences do they have with the topic? And what ideas are they interested in? Finding out enables the students to deepen their connections with the topic through reading, field trips, flowcharts, etc. They ask themselves questions like, where can I find more information? What resources will I use? And what can I do to learn more? Sorting out helps to distinguish the differences in their understanding through reflection, identifying what they understand and what they still need to know. Going further requires the student to think about the information that they have to share with their peers, who their audience will be, and considering the different points of view in the topic. Making conclusions brings all their inquiry together by identifying what they already know about the central idea, how it can be shared effectively, and questioning what they would do differently next time. And finally, taking action will see the student apply this knowledge to real-life experiences and how it will help them and others.
To conclude this presentation, the approach to an integrated curriculum is prosperous in making students further aware of content area connection, challenging students, offering a learning environment that sustains academic and social needs, breaking up the limitations among disciplines, as well as encouraging stronger student-teacher relationships. It has been said that students taking part within an integrated curriculum have established a better attitude in relation to themselves and school. Correspondingly, educators are presented with better opportunities to work together, increasing teamwork. Educators have worked together to offer improved learning experiences and an array of instructional approaches throughout the integrated curriculum. Integrated curriculum is an important advancement and its effectiveness on teaching and learning is extensively supported. Nevertheless, schools need to assess the level to which the integration of the curriculum will be beneficial within the school and within which classrooms the integrated curriculum will provide the best possible success. Throughout our team's research and observation, we have discussed the benefits and effectiveness of the integrated curriculum as a mechanism to allow students, educators, and education authorities to achieve their objective. It is within our human nature to construct connections between things we know or have individually experienced. In comparison, students learn at a deeper level when connections are made. By having an integrated curriculum, learning material is related in the way where it is present around us and throughout the world.